Hello. Before beginning today's topic, I'd like to share with you that you are a genius, you are special, you mean the world, and you are loved. Today's episode is to nurture relationships. Relationships is the foundation of our society, of our race. Even if you see the rise of the population wanting to go towards not having kids and so forth, that's not to say that humanity don't long for touch. It's not about lust, it's not about pleasure, it's about what a human being is. And a human being is this phenomenal instrument. I always go back to these instruments, but it's only so we can really begin to accept them. And in nurturing relationships, there's one thing that is very important to understand. Your heart, electromagnetically, if used properly, has a radius, has a range of 3 meters. So what's that? Like 9 feet, I believe. So it's not about what you conceptualize about people. Like, oh no, like I'm not good with people. I like to be alone or whatever. It's not about that. It's about someone can come into a room and you're gonna get a vibe from them. Their energy is going to be visible to your unconscious, and you're gonna be like, oh, like that person's gonna make you sad or it's gonna make you happy. There was never anything about, there was no touch ever even made. The bottom line is the only way for us to grow is through people. Why do we know? Why do we have science? Why do we have psychology? Because we observe people. Relationships should be nurtured because through a relationship, through a real relationship, you start learning yourself. Let me share a quick story about why I learned that I didn't want toxic relationships in my life. I was very young, and I would say, I mean, I hate to say it because this was a person I loved, but this person was a person that would self-harm, and she would always get the best of me. She could just cry or anything would go to her. I would shut my mouth even if I was right just because I knew like her state, right? So that looks like something of empowerment. I could be applauded for being so mindful, so being so, superior. But the thing is, I wasn't loving myself. Through so much time, I started resenting her. I started resenting her because I couldn't express my sadness to her. Because if I would, then there would be this backlash, right? So, with more time and more time, I started resenting her. To one point, I literally manipulated a situation to receive warmth from her. We were out by a park, and she was upset about something, and I had this like feeling. It was like an intuitive feeling of, hey, if you pretend like you're hurt, if you pretend like you're sad, then she's gonna come around. And you know what? I did that. I put my head in my hands, I embodied that vibe. And to my astonishment, she flipped like that. Now to me, after like this little moment, I knew never again. I knew I never wanted to impact my world in that way. And that has left like a big mark on me. I mean, there's so many things that we can go on and talk about here. But the place I'd like to take it is relationships are not or shouldn't seem so complicated. You give your all, and if that person isn't, if they don't meet your standards, then you gotta go. You know, I saw something today, surprisingly, and it said that if you're not internally telling yourself what you want, everything external is going to seem like it's faith. What does that mean? If I'm not inside my body, if I'm not a conscious person, everything that comes to me by the laws, by universe, is faith. We conceptualize it as faith. What does this do? Any person that comes into my life, like I'm gonna be like, oh, it's faith, like this is real. But no, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be conscious out there. You gotta be, I mean, you gotta be a monster. Because if you're gonna give your heart away, that's basically what we're doing, right? Like giving ourselves away, which is what real love is. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But if you're going to do that, then one, why would you let some things fly? Why would you why would you accept someone that is 80% perfect? Now, I might be hearing you and saying, "Oh, you're an a-hole. Like no one's perfect." Well, I'm here to tell you that like they're going to have your life, and if that person isn't if you won't give your heart to them right now, that means in some time in the future you're going to begin to resent them. And let's not get into the shadow aspect of you might start to exhibit the traits of that person that you don't like happened in my journey, which is very ugly. So again, you gotta find the right person and you don't have to be complacent. You can't. Because it's your life, it's your love life, it's your heart. I mean, you're not going to, you know, we have that saying, like, you don't feed like a kid rocks or something like that. Like, if you wouldn't do it to like your little kid, if you have kids, then don't do it to yourself. Do you want your brother, your sister, your family member to marry someone that isn't perfect? I mean, I don't know how much money Hollywood has made, how many movies there are about the mom or the dad or the sister that doesn't approve of that family member. You know? So it's like we got to just be a monster and we got to get out of life what you want, because if you don't and you just accept it, it's going to come back and it's going to bite you in the. So the next thing is real love is living for that person 100%. It doesn't matter like to what degree you believe this or not. If you love someone, you're going to live by their needs. You're going to give them what they want. Real love is looking at the person in question as if it were yourself. Now, many of you don't give yourself what you deserve and what you want, so whenever you hear real love is giving that person what they want, it doesn't, it's a disconnect because you're already not giving yourself what you want. Now, I mean, there's so much content out there about loving yourself. I mean, I don't want to go into that because you can find that somewhere else. I want to tell you to find the person that checks everything off. Because in the end, you will, your shadow aspect will begin to like exhibit those, and less extreme, you will begin to resent them. And we're not going to get into what happens when you resent someone. So the second part is real love is looking at that other person as if it were yourself. And let me ask you, do you want to give yourself what you want? Would you, having the ability, give yourself what you want? And with this, I just kind of want to leave it there and challenge relationships to have a lot of communication, because you have to know what each other's wants are, and there has to be a middle ground. I'll do a video on communication in the future, but I want you to remember to get what you want. But first become conscious, like literally like step into yourself, live from the heart, experience what it is to carry an elevated emotion. Get rid of your baggage, like be someone that deserves love. Don't just go hopping and chasing around relationships. Like, I mean, if that's you, it's fine. But relationships should be nurtured like a baby, like your child, like your sibling, like you want to be. And to do that, you have to want that person 100%. And if there's one little thing, if you don't like their toes, like literally don't go for them because you don't like their toes. Because you're going to be looking at those toes. And one day she's going to ask you to kiss my feet. And you're going to be like, no. What are you going to do then? So don't stop till you find what you want. And real love is taking that person in question as if he or she were you. I hope this video has been to your liking. I ask that you share this video with your loved ones, with your family members, and with your mastermind group if you have one. And also comment below. What are your thoughts? How do you nurture your current relationship? Are you in a relationship? Are you looking for your loved one? And lastly, I invite you to join my family. My family, we are individuals that live from the heart. We maintain an elevated emotion. We are masters at teaching the art of living from the heart. This membership also comes with 2 meditations daily, a weekly meditation, and a monthly meditation. I hope to see you on the side of light. Goodbye.